out of your way to harass the user in question. Also, note that this channel is based off satirical humor. We tend to say a lot of crude things, so if you don't enjoy extremely rude humor, then we suggest you click away while you still can. Thank you.
Requests are closed. If you know that requests are closed, please do not send us in your requests so we have it for when we open them again. Please wait till we make an announcement saying requests are open. Thank you. Hello everybody, I'm Yuji.
And I'm Muffin.
And we're not dead!
Sorry we didn't upload any videos or post anything on any of the social media websites for a little while. We ended up taking a trip to the mountains with some friends and family. Thank you, Maserati, for taking us up there.
Go subscribe to him. His content's really good.
But anyway, for today's video, we have an Undertale OC that we actually thought was pretty good. His name's Vanilla, and he's freaking adorable.
But first, sprites! Yeah, these are sprites made by It Is Sugar or Creations?
Is it Sugar or Creation?
Or Creation. Either way, they're Kirby sprites.
We thought these adorable sprites would be very fitting for this video.
AKA Muffin thought so she forced me to go along.
Heck yes! So here's a little clip showing you all of them. They're really cute.
And anyways, on to the actual character.
He's so freaking cute! Look at the little firelight! Oh my god!
Muffin's having a little breakdown. Anyways, starting off with the looks.
He's really adorable. I love your drawing style. The little chibi look he has to him. I also think you did a really good job of blending the yellows and oranges to make this look like fire. This is really cute. And I really don't have any criticism to give this, except for it might be nice for you to try to give this a background eventually. But for now, this is really cute.
Alright, and now we're moving on to the bio. Name, Vanilla. Race, Flarics.
It might be good for you to put a pronunciation here just so that we know that we're saying it right.
Because we all know Yuji can't pronounce words for shit. Small fan-made race, my creation, a tiny fire sprite?
I think you meant to put sprite there.
Sprite-esque animals that live in the hotlands. Their fur, though quite soft, reacts with oxygen in the air and emits a soft glow, and they are warm to hug.
Okay, so it's not actually fire, but just a warmth and emits light? That's pretty interesting.
They range from 10 inches to 1 foot 8 inches tall, and weigh about the same as a small cat, being the majority of their mass is fur. So they live for approximately 16 to 18 years. This can, however, be drastically reduced should they get their fur wet. A mist won't hurt, merely steam off their bodies. A rain shower or chronic humidity, however, can affect their health.
Reminds me of something.
You're sick. Death is certain should they be dunked in water. They do not speak fluent English, they do not have the vocal cords for it, though they can understand it, and speak in a series of smuffs and smumps, and fairly mispronounced versions of spices and food. E.g. Vanilla would pronounce its name as Vniwa instead of Vanilla.
Fucking adorable!
Their culture is largely media-based. Metatone, like in the majority of cultures, is pretty huge deal to them. They are known for their love of cooking, though they're not all that capable of it and typically eat berries mixed with the various spices of the hotlands. And it is not uncommon for them to name their offspring after various spices and dishes, though this isn't a restriction, just a cultural preference, and an oddity if not followed. Their power consists of small breaths of fire and little combustions by fur. Just some background on them.
I really like the species you've created. It's nice that instead of just, going with a monster commonly used with Undertale OCs, you've taken it upon yourself to make a whole new species. And I, for one, really like reading and reviewing people's species creations. I find that really interesting. So I like this a lot.
Height, 1 foot 1 inch. Weight, 10 pounds, 4.5 kilograms. Gender, male. Age, 6. Health, poor asthma-like symptoms from the humidity of the air around Snowdin. Place of origin, Hotlands. Place of residence, Snowdin. Since getting wet could potentially kill him, I am a bit confused as to why he lives in Snowdin of all places. Personality, basic nature, naive and excitable. Likes...
Wait, was that the end of the personality section? That was very short.
Bustling activity in towns. Metaton in the I'm a person at your concert and I screamed when I got the tickets kind of way. As of right now, Vanilla's only ever seen MTT TV. Bonfires, macaroons, the waterfall, though it kind of makes him feel sick and faint. He believes it to be the most beautiful place in the underground, the color blue being rather uncommon amongst his people. Grilby, he lets him sleep in the fireplace. Caramel, various pastries, papyrus, Latin, exciting. Vanilla is quite content to have him arrive at Grilby's with Sans, though he doesn't quite get Sans' humor. Blue. Dislikes. Salty food. Getting wet. Green. The color typically represents vegetation which burns and often spoils the berries which Flarics collect for food. Puns. They confuse him. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Quiet. Frisk, they're too quiet. Though Vanilla doesn't hate them, they would just prefer to be around other people.
He'll often overdo himself and get lost in excitement, not realizing their own physical boundaries until it's too late and he has to be carried back to a small fireplace to recollect himself. A very cheery little fellow and often liked by others, he becomes quite confused and even upset at being ignored. Despite his medical issues, he is determined to be independent and takes on small jobs within I made it from Hotlands to Snowdin all by myself. What up? Attitude. It's fortunate that he can't speak English for this reason. Okay, so it looks like this is the rest of the personality section, but I'm a bit confused. Why did you split it up like that? If you had a theme song, it would be Curiosity, the fifth movement of the Dragon Suite. Play a little thing here. Pacifist mode. You wouldn't find him at all in either mode, though the older and more matured Flarics would appear as field enemies in the Hotlands. In Pacifist, Vanilla would often slide after Frisk through the center ways of town, curious as to what a human does. He won't interact, however, and will dash off should Frisk turn around and spot him. Genocide, in hiding with the rest of the townsfolk.
Species-based stats. Hotland Flarics. Attack 3, Defense 2, HP 25. They are easily bribed out of battle with food.
It would be nice to put what kind of food, though.
Yeah.
Because I know the spiders, you give them...
Spider donuts.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to find out what kind of food specifically they're bribed out with.
Or do they just, eat anything and everything? Just omnivore style. Backstory. Brief. Born and raised with their Flarics brethren, think names like nutmeg, almond, souffle, basil, peanut, etc. Vanilla heard of the tavern in Snowdin and the new foods that he never tasted. It filled him with determination.
Same.
Lol, no. He was excited by the idea and packed his fireproof bag, said farewell, and left off on an adventure through the underground. It wasn't too long before he came across the waterfall and was overcome with something similar to pneumonia due to the humidity. Pressing onwards, he came across the snowy plains of Snowdin. He hopped into his fireproof bag, using small jets of fire to propel himself across the packed ice of the paths.
Wait, but from what you described to these creatures earlier, they make puffs of fire or little bursts, not something like jets that would push them, I can imagine.
Arriving in the actual town of Snowdon, he quickly found the place he was looking for, running up to Kirby, quite thrilled to see that he was made of flame and expressing his praise, at which Kirby was incredibly confused. He continued to follow the man around like a lost dog until he was taken in and allowed to remain in the fireplace as residents.
Like a little freaking pet for Kirby, a little kitten to the fireman. Oh my god. Oh my god, keep reading.
I think Muffin might be broken, guys.
This is freaking adorable.
He has since become quite popular with the children of Snowdon and works in snow removal to keep the pathways clear of twigs and branches. He would like to follow Papyrus out of town to help, though he would never be anything substantial when it comes to actually helping, but he cannot sense to save his skin unless inside a building, in which case he leaves the bag at the door like a pair of shoes. He repels about as a method above. However, with his asthma-like symptoms, he can no longer travel for long distances at a time and would likely pass out should he make the trek to the edge of the ruins. To make up for this, he enjoys bringing the two hot meals upon their return. And that is it. We are moving on to our final thoughts. All in all, I do like this character and its species. I think you did a really good job creating your own species for the game. As for the picture, I would like to see examples of Vanilla using his little fire powers, and maybe some examples of his fur when it's wet. Like, does it change color, or does it stay the same color, but it's a bit duller?
I feel a bit bad because I really don't have much criticism to give this character. And that might be due to the fact that we don't know much about Undertale, so if anyone in the comments wants to point out something that we didn't catch, go right ahead. The only real thing I can add besides suggesting that we move this second half of the personality back up to the rest of it is to extend your backstory a bit. I would like to know a bit more about how his life was before he left for Snowdon. And even though you did give us an explanation as to why he chose that place, I still don't think it makes much sense for him to stay there and not find some way back to the hot lands, because anytime he went outside, the heat from his fur could possibly melt the snow around him and get him wet. And you just explained that is a big problem for him. But other than that, I really like this character. He was really cute. I think you did a good job.
Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm UG!
And I'm Muffin.
We are Constructive Criticism!
We'll see you in the next video.